In this set of tutorials, we're going to be following what I do in the Rhino Basics tutorials in SolidWorks. So I'm going to go File, New, and in SolidWorks 2010, and then select Part, click OK, and we are now in a new part document in SolidWorks. You'll see up here at the top there's a toolbar, so you can get to the tools. In the menu system, you can get to all those same tools. Over here on the left, we have our tree, and our tree is very important. It's not a true tree in SolidWorks, it's actually a list, but I'm going to refer to it as the tree. So, and then up here at the top we have some basic visualization buttons, pretty straightforward. I'll show you those to you as we go. And this should be really easy. We're going to start at the very beginning. So the first thing we're going to do is draw a rectangle, just like we do in Rhino. So to draw a rectangle is a little bit more indirect, let's say, than it is in Rhino. We have to decide where we want to draw the rectangle. We see a blank screen here, and there's no C-plane like there is in Rhino. There's no construction plane. Well, there are these three planes right here in the item list in the tree. There's front, top, and right. And they disappear when I mouse off of them. But if I click it, then it sticks and you can see it. And I can also hide and show it by clicking, and then there's these little glasses icon that says Show. And now it's shown, and I don't have to have it clicked. I can see it out here in space. But I'm going to go ahead and hide it again because we don't need to look at it all the time, just when we want it. To draw a rectangle, we're going to need to create what is called a sketch. So I'm going to click up here on the Sketch tab, and then click the Sketch tool to create a sketch. Now it's going to ask me, where do I want to put my sketch? Top plane, front plane, right plane, you can see here. So let's choose our top plane. It's going to orient the view so we're perpendicular to the plane, and then I just choose what shapes I want to draw. In this case, right here, I want to draw a rectangle. And for the sake of it, I'm going to draw a rectangle from center. So I can click right here on the origin and then drag out my rectangle. And then once I'm done with my rectangle, I can click right here on Exit Sketch. This is Cancel Sketch. Don't click this, because if you do, you'll lose your work here. So click this to exit your sketch. And now we have a sketch. You can see it here in our tree. It's listed as Sketch 1. We could rename it Rectangle if we want to. And now this is a three-dimensional model already. So if I hold the middle mouse button, then I can rotate and look at all sides of this model. And if I roll the scroll wheel, then I can zoom in and out. And if I hold the control key while I drag with the middle mouse button or scroll wheel, as is the case for me, then I will pan. So I can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel. I can hold control and hold the middle mouse button to pan, and then I can hold the middle mouse button to rotate. I can also hold the shift key with the middle mouse button to zoom in and out. So either the shift key and middle mouse button or the scroll wheel works for zooming. Okay, so now you can rotate this model around and we can look at it. Now what if we actually want for that to become a three-dimensional model? We want this to be a box. Well, like in Rhino, we would choose the box tool and then start drawing, but there is no box tool in SolidWorks. What you'll do is start with a sketch, then go here to Features, and then click Extruded Boss. And then it's going to ask you, what do you want to extrude? Well, we want to extrude this sketch here. And then we can tell it how far we want to go by dragging this little arrow up and down, or typing a value over here on the left in the Boss Extrude feature editor. Once we're happy with it, we can click either the green check mark up here or the green check mark here. Either way, those are equivalent. And now we have a three-dimensional box in our space. Another way we could have done that is just in a different order of operations. I'm going to click here on my boss and hit the delete key, keyboard, and say yes, let's delete it, and we'll delete our original sketch too. And now, instead of creating a sketch first, I'm just going to go ahead and click on Extruded Boss. And what it's going to do is activate Sketch for me, because it needs a sketch in order to create a boss. So then I'll choose my top plane, I'll choose my rectangle, from center, draw my rectangle, OK, and now it pops me right into the boss dialog. And there we have it, our 3D box. So you can create an extrusion that way, and it could be any shape you wanted. It wouldn't have to be a rectangle, it could be a circle. So for the sake of demonstration, let's do that. Let's say extruded boss base, and then it asks, where do you want to draw this extrusion? Well, let's choose our top plane, our item list, and it wants to know where we want this sketch. So we'll click top plane, I'll choose a circle, draw it, click OK, and then tell it how tall do we want this circle by dragging. And the check mark, and we're done. And we can see that now we have two different items in our tree. We have this boss extrude here, which is our rectangle, and this other one, that's our cylinder. So our rectangle, we can call that rectangle. This one we could call cylinder. Now we have two separate sketches driving each of those. We have sketch 2 right here, which is our rectangle sketch, and sketch 3 right here, which is our circle sketch. So as you can see, we can still use these sketches for other things. So let's say, for example, that I wanted to draw a separate cylinder downward from there. Well, the way I could do that is say extruded boss, and then it asks either give me a plane, and it says right here, give me a plane or a planar face to sketch on, or give me an existing sketch to use for the feature. And so if I expand my tree, then I can see under the cylinder, there's that sketch. I can click it, and now we're going to be extruding that sketch, and this time we'll go the other direction. And right here, there's a little checkbox for merge result. Basically what that's going to do is, if this is checked, it's automatically going to join this new cylinder to this old one because they're touching on this face. So if I go ahead and click OK, you'll see that this now becomes one big long cylinder. I didn't intend that though for this. Instead, I'm going to change this feature. Now this is where SolidWorks is really cool. It's called a parametric modeling package. Which means it has history built into it. It remembers everything you do, and it puts them right here in this tree. So here's that third boss that we did, that third extrude, and if I right-click on it, then up here I can say Edit Feature. If I click Edit Feature, then it brings me right back to where I can change the parameters for that extrusion, and one of those parameters was Merge Result. We'll uncheck that, click the checkbox, and now here we are with our three separate bodies. 1, 2, 3. So that almost covers it, except in my Rhino tutorial for the very first video, I show you how to move things up and down and left and right and move them around. Well, in SolidWorks that's a little more complicated. It's a little bit different. So if I want to move this box, the right way to do it and if I go here to my cylinder, I can move that by going Edit Sketch. I can click on my circle, and I can just drag it wherever I want it to be. So let's drag it over here, click OK. Now our cylinder is over there. If I wanted another box on top of this one, then I could click on this plane and use that as my sketch plane for my extrude. So let's click Extruded Boss Base, and it asks for a plane. So this time we'll click the top of this box. If I draw another box here, click OK, then it's letting me create another box right there on top of this one. So, watch this. I'm going to do a new boss base again, select this one, this plane up here. You can see my little origin is up there on top of this plane here. We'll do an oval this time. Extrude that straight up and hit OK. Now, here's where that order of operations thing gets really important. We have this extrusion. We have three right on top of each other. We have the rectangle, we have our rectangle on top of our rectangle, and we have a oval on top of our rectangle. So what if I change this rectangle? What if we go back here and make this one not as tall? Look at that. Everything moves right down with it. So this oval could be thought of as a child of this extrusion here. So anything that happens to that extrusion below will change the oval above it. Now, what if I change that original bottom rectangle? We'll edit the feature and then make it a little bit taller. Well, now everything moves up with it. If I take that feature and move it way down thin, then everything moves down with it.